So welcome everyone, and I'm just about to introduce the lovely Anne Brown. And Anne and Roy, her husband, went gold earlier this year, in January in fact, and we'd like to honour and acknowledge them because they have some unique circumstances and it's a really great story, so we'd love to hear more about that. My name's Brenda Rogers and I'm the training manager with Young Living, and it's my pleasure to introduce Anne. Now, I think, Anne, I'll leave you to tell us a little bit about our story, because I know that it's quite an amazing story, where you live and how you've managed to go gold. So something for us to learn. So let's just bring you in, and I have to unmute you, darling. Won't be a second. Sometimes these things take a little time. And unmute.
Done.
All right, Anne, over to you, darling.
Hello and welcome to everyone. Sorry I'm not involved in writing any chats. I'm using my new iPad mini tonight for the first time and I can't figure out how to do typing in chats, but new things to learn. Okay, Roy and I joined Young Living in May 2014 when we were first invited to go to a talk on frequencies that Alan Simpson was giving. As we're both therapists and have been for over 20 years each, Roy in particular has a real interest in healing abilities and frequency, so we thought we'd go along. As it happened, we actually happened to be home that weekend. Home for us is Lake Macquarie, so about half an hour south of Newcastle, hour and a half, 2 hours north of Sydney. And as we were able to attend the talk, went along, and it was just interesting because we'd already been travelling a fair bit. What I've done is I've got some questions of sorts or different topics, and I've included some pictures to show you sort of the style of life that we are living, which is a bit abnormal for most people. But thankfully, when Roy and I got together, he'd already been retired, so I have the lifestyle. I don't have to pay off mortgages or put kids through school, so we can take advantage of enjoying ourselves and travelling around, which is good in one way, but it does mean bit difficult trying to build the business at times. Can I have my first slide, please, Brenda? This is our little slide on. If you're not sure what a slide on is, it's basically a caravan without wheels. It fits over the back of a ute. So we have our ute and the sides come off, the hydraulic legs go up, and then the ute backs in underneath. So the far end is the bed, which is where I'm actually sitting now, and that goes over the cabin. So that's the queen size bed up there. It's equivalent to about a 17-foot caravan inside, quite comfortable, but obviously not massive of space. The benefits of it for us are that it involves no towing, because neither of us enjoy that one. And it means we can do like we have done here up at the ridge, drop it off and take the ute out and still have both a home we can come home to and convenience of a vehicle. So that's what we travel around with most of the time. As I said, we joined in May 2014 and we were just about on our way to travelling up to the Gold Country. So at that stage, we only used some products for ourselves without sharing it. We started signing people up really in November of 2014. First one was a good friend, one of Roy's clients, and my mother and another good friend back in Newcastle. It was on this road trip up to the Gold Country that we stopped at Lightning Ridge. We'd actually been to Pilliga Bore because Alan Simpson said that's his most favourite place, the hot artesian bore. So we went there first and then we called into Lightning Ridge. Roy's words were his typical style: we'll stop for 2 nights. It ended up being 10 nights. We kept extending it. And like Young Living, we fell in love with the place immediately, which resulted in us purchasing a mining claim on our way back when we came back from the Gulf. Where is Lightning Ridge and what is the attraction for us? Lightning Ridge is approximately 800 kilometres northwest of Sydney, or 4 hours drive north from Dubbo, or 1 hour south of the Queensland border. Can I have the second picture, please, Brenda? Okay, so as you come off the main highway, this is what you see: Lightning Ridge, Black Opal Country. So basically what you see up there is an old, I suppose, concrete mixer to start with that they call an agitator. So once they've got the decent mine, or stones out of the mine, they put it in there, wash it all, and they sort out, pick up what's good and what's bad. So that's what you see as you come in. Its claim to fame is the home of the black opal, which is the only place in the world where we have black opal. And it's certainly worth a visit if you like the outback and fossicking for precious minerals. And I know some of you certainly do. Besides opal, there are many other interesting attractions, as Lightning Ridge seems to attract creative entrepreneurs. There's a man who's in his 70s, he's turned his mine into an underground art gallery. He's created sculptures, over 500, some of them are life-size. All hand-carved out of this sandstone. Unlike Cooper Pedy, the people in Lightning Ridge do not live underground. The structure is not sturdy enough to be able to do that. If you carve too much of an underneath, you need to put bolsters up, so it's not safe to live. Okay, once you've been here, you either fall in love with it or you decide it's not for you and you don't bother coming back again. Can I have the third picture? Okay, as you come into town, this is what you see. Lightning Ridge population ? It's a small mining town of approximately 2,000 to 4,000 people. However, as the sign says, population unknown. This is due mainly to the majority of locals being of Eastern European or other backgrounds with varying degrees of broken English. The remoteness of the hundreds of mining camps in the broader area make doing a census virtually impossible. And then there are some who come here deliberately not wanting to be found. So if someone comes into the pub and says, have you seen Joe Blow? Everyone shakes their head and say, who's Joe Blow? And the person might go up and they say, did you want to be found, Joe? So it depends on who you are. Most of the essential services are available in town, and even has a short course international pool, a heated international pool, and again, an international standard diving pool, which frequently hosts teams from overseas who come here to practice prior to major events. But once you venture beyond the town boundary and residential claims onto the mining claims, you get no services. What attracts many people to stay in Lightning Ridge is the friendly and warm welcome you get from the locals and the totally relaxed laid-back lifestyle that is Lightning Ridge. The locals say that a calendar lasts 4 years up here, as nothing is done in a hurry. The social life can be all-consuming. The simple invite for coffee after the ball baths at 9:30, finishing at 2:30. And it usually also involves a small glass of plum brandy and having your coffee cup read. My mother, who's nearly 90, has just come up from Adelaide. She's made the trip by herself. She's flown to Sydney, stayed overnight, got the train to Dubbo, which takes about 7 hours, then finished the journey off with a 4-hour bus ride up here, as she loves the life of total relaxation and, of course, the ball baths. Mind you, she now needs to wear a flotation jacket as she can't stay home or can't stay above the water when she swims. The first time Alan was up here with Linda and Mum was up here, she swam across the ball baths and she forgot to put the glue on top of her plate and she spat her dentures out. So Alan had to swim to the bottom to pick them up for her. So she was the laughter of the pool. And she often now we've got the life jacket, she's much better. Prior to that, we used to put noodles underneath her, and people call her Queen Mary because she took up so much space as she came across. Like us, when Alan and Linda called in here in May 2015 for a few days, they stayed for 10. And on the recent visit prior to Disney trip, Alan was like a small child throwing a temper tantrum as he really didn't want to go home. Neither did we. But Disney was a big calling, so we made the supreme sacrifice and we went home. How do we meet people as we travel around and in Lightning Ridge? On our travels around Australia in our slide-on camper, we like to free camp with occasional stays in caravan parks. Socialising with neighbours is part of this lifestyle. And it doesn't take long to listen to people's stories and especially as therapists to observe them and see what ails them. Initially, before compliance, we could approach them and discuss their conditions with some options to improve their symptoms. Nothing has changed in our basic approach. It's just that we now need to approach them from a chemical-free lifestyle, giving them the possibility of better quality of life. When needed, we give them a treatment, and during this private time, we expand on the healing abilities of Mother Nature, which is found in the oils. In Lightning Ridge, the main focal point for anyone wanting to improve their health in some way is the hot artesian ball baths. As you can see, this is one of the pictures here. explains, so the water that we soak in comes from 1 kilometre below. It comes out somewhere around 90 degrees, and they moderate it with the flow as to how much goes into the bore baths. The bore bath was initially built by the local miners, so it is free 24/7, apart from the 2 hours during the week when they clean it each day. And it used to be wasted a lot. So now they actually, water overflow from it goes out and is used by the miners when they do the washing agitation of their rocks, and then also out to the local farmers. So it's a much better way than it was before. It comes from directly from the artesian basin. It's controlled, so it's usually about 40 degrees all around with slight variations due to the weather conditions. This can be, it's quite pleasant in the morning, and at night time, if it's a lovely sunny day, it is very hot. So you see most of the locals, everybody else just sitting around the outside because it's too hot to go into. The water has sort of natural minerals in it, which are renowned for the healing. So it's a huge draw card, especially during winter months for people from cooler areas like Victoria, come for several months or more and spend almost all day at the bore baths. For those who are not used to it, in the actual bore bath, the smell seems to dissipate. But when you have the showers afterwards, there's that distinct sulphur smell, which for me is actually quite rewarding because it's much nicer than the chlorine smell. The pool, as I said, is predominantly chlorine free, although it is a public pool, must have some added into it. So when they do clean it, they do throw a bit around. Sometimes you can notice a bit more than others. Hopefully it dissipates or just floats down. Although I can't say it's going to be too good for the poor animals down the end when they get water up there. Next photo, please. This is a photo of our wonderful upline diamonds, Alan and Linda, when they were up here recently. They just love the bore baths. If you check out some of Alan's Facebook posts, he actually did some videos. They arrive at night time and during the day. Just having Easter, it certainly looks a lot more populated than it does in that photo there. Easter, it's a huge attraction. The town fills up. They have a huge festival and there's a lot of activity. So it's a very, very popular place. Again, when we're at the bore baths, we can't help ourselves, often to help people when we see people in pain. So we offer quick fix treatments, and that leads to more conversation. Actually, I think Alan received a treatment from his shoulder while he was in the bore bath from the other day. The locals are slowly getting to know us as the massage people, and so I've actually converted an ex-council morning tea van into a clinic from which I offer treatments, which always seems to incorporate the use of oil somewhere, giving me another opportunity to talk about what the oils have done for us personally. We also hold talks in the local club on the topics of chemical-free living and also the concept of switching and saving. Like someone mentioned at the Hawaiian promotion earlier this year, you won't grow your business until you've held a no-show or ones with only a few people, but you still keep going on eventually as you'll find someone interested. Next picture, please. Okay, so this is one I ran back in October last year. I set it up, it's a switch and save, and I think we had all 3 people turn up. And 2 of those people were people we've met at the bore baths who invited back to stay on our camp, and they were just starting their trip around Australia from Canberra. So they came in, and Roy managed to find one of the friends we know who was out in the club to come in. So it wasn't a very well populated or very well advertised meeting, so we held another one a bit later. But the difficulty with, I suppose, doing a small thing like that is you need to keep the passion up as if it had a full audience. Otherwise, it's not being fair to them. So it's a mindset and you need to be learning it. Next picture, please. This is the one, again, a switch and save, same venue, different room. And obviously a bit more people turn up this time around. So Roy usually gives a talk on chemical free, as that he loves doing it. He's the green person, he's the researcher, so he's always the upfront person, and then I get to talk about the products and things that are happening there. This is one we held recently in October, and we just had a chemical free theme, and this time around I think I demonstrated how to make up some washing soaps and a few other bits and pieces there. For some strange reason, it always seems to be that the biggest people we get are when we have Alan and Linda coming up. So Alan and Linda gave us some talks back in May 2015, and this was one recently they held for us. We have complete families with young kids come along, and you can see that over the left-hand side there, that we're about to demonstrate how to make up the washing liquid, the babe face wipes, and a few other bits and pieces there. We also do some other interesting ways of talking to people. Can I have the next photo, please? So this is a picture of a man that we met at the board bath that morning and was interested in understanding more things. So Alan and Alan invited him straight back. So we had breakfast under the awning of Alan's big bus, which is parked on our site. So this is that version. And the next picture, this is two ladies that had been to the talk the night before and came to the site. This elderly lady's 87 and she was actually giving Linda a palm reading. She had a few problems with her eyes, so then Linda got some treatments out and did some oil work around her eyes. And that's Alan in his favourite position up the top there in his hammock. So that's just the way Enlightening Ridge, it's just easy, casual, as you go. Okay. What are the difficulties of building a business while travelling or being in Lightning Ridge? The main difficulties I face in building my business whilst on the road or at Lightning Ridge are much the same. Access to power and internet are the first hurdles to overcome, followed by finding the time to keep in contact with my leaders, taking into consideration timeframes and their busy schedules. Next picture, please. So this is a picture of our basic campsite taken from our neighbour's hill that he built. So you see the ute. To the left of the ute is my clinic. To the right of the ute is the outdoor toilet that Roy's so proud that he built. A 28-foot caravan, and just above the top of the 28-foot caravan you can see where our slide-on is, and in front of the ute is a small meat refrigerator van. Because of the good installation, it's Roy's workshop and the generator shed. So that's basically what we live on up here. Although both our slide-on campus and the 28-foot caravan have solar panels on them, providing it's daylight and there's enough sunshine, I'm not always assured of enough power, even the 12 volt, to run the computer or printer when I want it, which then requires a diesel generator being used and hoping this doesn't run out of fuel. In both situations, the lack of space to attend to office work without getting in Roy's way, storage of extra oils or any team building gear is another issue in the confined spaces. In fact, tonight I've come out of the slide-on so I don't interrupt both my mother and Roy. Finding a mobile internet plan that works in most places and has a big enough data plan is just another consideration. Watching too many videos or tuning into webinars can run the monthly data down quite quickly. Being on a mining claim comes with its own problems, as everything on it must be able to be removed within 24 hours, so no substantial building can be erected. And this actually means no poles or pegs at all erected into the ground. You'll see in front of the awning there, it's a big old truck tyre. That's what the awning is attached to, because you're not even allowed to put pegs into the ground. It's a strange ruling. I think the concrete slab which was on the site for the tour when we came here is actually in theory illegal, but being so small, they don't mind. Regarding water, we obviously can't have any access to water, so we need to go into town every other day, fill up the tanks that are in the caravan. Roy's looking at putting a tropical roof over our caravan and almost out to the toilet, but again, we can't fix it anyway to the ground, so it's got to figure out how to put poles into the caravan. Regarding water, luckily the board baths are only about 5 minutes up the road or less, so showering isn't an issue because we go there twice a day. However, our 28-foot van is absolute luxury compared to the very basic shanties many people up here live in all year round. Well, you can see the temperatures vary from 0 to 52.8 degrees, which it was recently. They're not running a network marketing business, so they can kick back and relax. But I for one, would not want to live in the basic, almost old gold mine style shacks built with corrugated iron that they live in. The lifestyle we lead has created challenges for me, as I'm often only to be in an area for 2 weeks, if I'm lucky. So I have to hope that the work I put in will be sustained until I return. I personally feel without the support of your team, it is impossible to climb the ladder beyond executive level. Never give up on any of your down-on members, as you never know when they're ready to blossom and start growing. I was struggling to get my second leg to 4,000 to reach silver, as I hadn't found enough builders who could work with minimal assistance from me, and so most of my IGV came from happy users of the products. Thankfully, As it happened, the very first person I enrolled eventually realised the potential that Young Living offered and decided to build her business, which gave me a third leg. Luckily for me, she had previously tasted success in network marketing and helped me to get to silver. And with that, Disneyland became a reality when it wasn't looking like it would happen. With my momentum generated in this leg and a few other team members in another leg eventually decided to start building their business, we also qualified for the global cruise. And it was, for me, an absolutely amazing experience. Never having been to America, it was awesome to be able to experience both of those trips, and I look forward to many more in the future. Many of the previous gold speakers have spoken about how many meetings or parties they've done each week in order to reach their goals. This to date hasn't been my main method of attracting new members. However, it certainly is becoming my preferred option when I'm in one place long enough, and it is pleasing to see some of my new builders working in this way and teaching their team as well. Working with small groups in a non-threatening environment is certainly a more personal way of introducing people to the many benefits that Young Living has to offer. I've certainly never been a person with making takes and all that sort of stuff in the past, so it's an eye-opener for me in learning how to do it. What does it take to get to gold? Perseverance with your goal firmly in mind, a good sense of humour, and a good understanding of the compensation plan, and the benefits of duplication will get you there. You also need to keep a constant eye on your OGV and what each leg is doing, as if you lose focus, it can result in a leg falling apart that you thought was going quite well, and suddenly you need to put more work urgently into it to get the numbers up again. Dale, which is Mary Young's brother, gave a really great presentation, PowerPoint, when he was on the cruise. So if you know anybody from the cruise, some of us will, if we email Dale, had the opportunity to get them, it's worth having a look at because it is the better way to build the business. Understand how duplication works and get people working with you. Anyone can do this, as Roy and I are nothing special and had no background in this field before. Since reaching silver, I've realised how important it is to help those below you to achieve what they're looking for, and the joy that this brings when you see them growing personally as their business grows. We started in May 2014. We didn't do our first enrolments till November 2014. We hit executive end of July 2015. It took us a year to get to silver, which was July last year, and then end of January this year we hit gold. So if you keep your eye focused and keep building your team, anybody can do it. It's just consistent efforts the whole way through. As they say, it's just a numbers game. The more people you introduce, especially to the business, not just the products, you will eventually find those who want the lifestyle and financial freedom that Young Living does offer to those who want it strong enough. Finding people who have been successful in other network marketing companies has certainly helped me to understand the concept of sharing from the heart and duplication. Unlike many conventional businesses, it's refreshing to be able to learn from those downline from you in the beautiful sharing nature that Young Living inspires. Certainly many people are, and some other network marketing companies believe very much in sticking to your own leg. Young Living seems to embrace people from all other areas to share regardless. We're not focused on one leg. It's about getting the oils out there and working well with it. What do we like most about Young Living? As therapists, we love the fact that we can assist so many people with the beautiful healing properties of the oils from a distance by just a phone call or directing them to an app or another reference source without having to actually be there to work on them. Mother Nature put the oils there for our benefit with Gary Young's dedication to create 100% pure therapeutic oils and sustainable, and that's what sets us apart from any other company, and it's something we should be very proud of. Modern living has become so much of a chemical maze with the reliance on drugs. It's refreshing to know there is a safe alternative. The generosity of the company in every way is so refreshing. From the monthly ER reward points, which we can redeem for more products, the PB promos each month, and the Elite Express program to encourage you to grow your business quickly. In fact, I've logged into tonight's meeting using my gold iPad mini, which is part of the gold Elite package that I received earlier this year. It's certainly going to make my life much easier because my computer battery always goes flat and needs charging. This is going to be much, much easier and more flexible, although I still need some lessons in negotiating how it works, but I'm working on it. Then there are the many ways we can receive commissions as we grow our business. having just experienced our first lot of trips, when you join us on these, be prepared to be fully showered with gifts. I can't believe the company is so generous in so many ways. Especially our lovely Kristen over in Hawaii, in Disneyland. There were new gifts every night on the bed, which was just totally awesome. As our wonderful General Manager Kristen says, Australia has a population of 25 million, of which only 24,000 people are involved with Young Living. Now is the time to really ramp up your business and strive for Hawaii or any other promotion that the company is offering. And I know there's another small cruise happening early next year, which will be promoted in July. And that's for the people just starting their businesses. So touch base with your upline and find out, and look forward to July when Kristen launches that one. I look forward to meeting many of the up-and-coming new leaders as we travel the world together, and more importantly, help Gary to achieve his goal of getting our oils into every home in the world. I hope hearing my story has given you the hope that anyone can achieve success. If you just keep your focus and keep persevering, results will come your way. Over to you, Brenda.
Oh my goodness, and it's so extraordinary, the insight into, well, regional Australia, if nothing else. But so many challenges to overcome, and you've done that with such determination. You can hear it in your voice. I'd love it if the audience could just type in a key aha, or something you learned, or something you took away from Anne's talk, something that inspired you, some kind of acknowledgement. Love you to type that in, and just reward Anne by letting her know that she's touched your heart with her story, because you've
not with us for a while. She comes back in.
So I'm just
in
going
my van here, we have the oils all around us. We even have the little 12-volt diffuser happening. I'm not sure you can actually view us. I think not. But
so Anne, I've got some comments.
Young Living, we have. I will still get some stickers made up for the sides instead of just the bowl ones, so people can see it as we travel around. It's just a lifestyle that's different. It's not quite the style of Linda's big mothership, as I call it, but it's a little version. And
so some comments and some comments from our audience.
And a great country.
And I'm just going to give you some comments from our audience. Congratulations on such wonderful achievements from Cressida. Well done from Kay Hamilton. Well done, Annie and Roy from Cornelia. Thank you, and amazing achievements from Remote Lifestyle from Debbie. Cressida also says, love the fact you can build your business on the road. Yvonne says that you can overcome anything if you really want to, and she proves that. Absolutely, Yvonne. Sharon says, thank you, Anne. It's awesome to hear you, says Kim. Thank you, Anne, for sharing your journey. It's awesome. I am in rural top end WA, and it certainly does have its challenges. Oh, amazing. Loved it. So great doing that from Caravan, says Christine. Jamie says, does not matter where you are or the challenges you face. If you're determined, you can do it. Thanks for sharing, Anne. Love sharing from the heart and how you've explained overcoming the challenges.
Most of you are looking forward to coming up to Symposium in May. It should be an awesome experience. Roy and I attended that first one 2 years ago when Gary was there, and it certainly opened our eyes to the possibilities of what oils can achieve and just mixing with other people. So I'm really, really looking forward to going again this year and catching up with some of the diamonds that we met on the cruise recently. They were amazing people to meet with, and catching up with them will be good, much more fun. And the variety of speakers seems really awesome as well. And if it's anything like last year, the goodie bag will also be stunning. Gary doesn't do things by halves.
All right, Anne. Well, thank you very much for your presentation. I'm going to move on to some content, and if there's anything
there somewhere.
So if there's anything you'd like to add, please I think you said you were having challenges with chat, but perhaps you can chat to us all. But just want to thank you so much for your generous offer to speak with us. It was extraordinary, so thank you.